Kyms Homestead with you again. How are you today? All well, I hope. Well, I'm coming to you from a sunny Victoria, Australia. What I thought we'd do today is spend some time planting seeds for the new season. Winter being our new season here. So what am I going to sow? Well, I've just been going through my seeds and there's a couple here that I don't have, such as the sugar snap pea, which I have to get, but I do have a few others. Now I've got the leafless pea. Obviously it is a pea with no leaves, it's just got those spindly things, and I got that just as a bit of novelty because I could. So I've got a few here and I want to keep them going, so I'll dedicate a little patch to these ones and let them breed up a bit, and yeah, they're interesting. I thought, well, the grubs can't get these because there's nothing for them to eat. Then I have the golden podded pea, and that's where all the pods are a nice golden colour. Bit of a contrast to the green. Who said a vegetable garden can't be pretty? So we've got these ones. Then we have the Frank's pea. Now this is a lovely pea. It is like a sugar snap, but it has beautiful purple flowers. So I quite like this one, and that's the Frank's pea. Then we have the purple snow peas, a little bit different to the green ones. So I thought, well, there's a nice change for you. I can have a mixture of both green, purple and yellow. I'll have psychedelic peas. Then we have the dwarf shelling peas. Now these are a pea that the bush only grows to like about 9 or 12 inches tall. It's only a very small bush, but it is quite prolific. So I thought, well, these would be good in the pods. I don't have to search up real high to be looking for them, and it's a nice little shelling pea. Then we have some more of the melting mammoth snow peas, so I'll find somewhere in the garden for them. And then we have a green feast, the normal green feast that that you have at Bunnings or supermarkets or wherever. They usually sell the green feast, and they're a shelling pea. And then I've got a mixture. I don't know what they are. I obviously thought I knew what they were going to be when I put them in the bag, but I can't remember. So they are what they are, and they'll get planted out. I'll sort it out then. So there's the peas that I'll be planting. Then I've got some sweet purple asparagus. So I'm going to pull down my large pond outside that's down near the chook pen this year. It gets a lot of that green slime and muck from the neighbours' trees and things like that. So I'm going to pull it down. It's in a good sunny spot. It's already raised. So I'm going to plant it up with asparagus. I've got nowhere for me asparagus this year. I tried planting it down in the orchard in between the fruit trees, because that's where you're supposed to plant asparagus. It's nice deep rooted, it brings up all the nutrients, but it's just not doing any good. Between the chooks, the snails and the weeds, it doesn't have a hope. So this way, if it's raised up and over there, I can get to it, weed it, and it'll be done. So what asparagus that I've got, they are 4-year-old crowns. So I'll be able to, I'll give them this year to sort of settle in, and next year I'll be able to start taking crops from them. These ones here, it'll be 4 or 5 years before I can get a crop out of these, but they'll be nice when I do. Onions. Yeah, I know it's getting a little late, but better than never. I have sweet Dominica. Is a huge flat round bulb with light brown skin. The layers are crisp, succulent and juicy, making this the perfect choice for salads and stir fries. So that'll be very nice. Then I have Gladylin White, which is a nice salad onion. I have a good brown onion. These are my own seeds, so lots of these ones. So that'll be nice. Then I have the giant onion Alyssa Craig. So I'll be trying some of these this year. I did try them last year, but they never took, so I'll give them another go. And these ones are the red bunching onion. It's sort of like a red spring onion, so that'll be nice. For lettuce, we have the Australian yellow leaf, which is a nice lettuce. It's a nice crisp lettuce, but it doesn't have that real crunch like iceberg has, but it is a nice salad lettuce, so it'll be nice. Then we have a gourmet mixed lettuce lot. It has just all sorts in it. What I'll take from these, I'll oversow a little bit, and I'll take out individual lettuces and let them grow on in pots. They won't be cut and come again. Well, most of them will be cut and come again, but some of them I will grow into full lettuces, and I'll also save seed from these. I do actually have a whole heap of seed that I saved, and do you think I can find it? Don't know where it's gone. I'll probably find it after I don't need it anymore. So then we have nasturtiums. Can't have a garden without nasturtiums. These are good. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers. They have a nice peppery taste. They're great for salads and that. Also to help brighten and cheer it up. They're also a very good catch crop for your caterpillar butterfly and all your other grubs and things like that. They do like nasturtiums and they'll go to these rather than your crops. But if they've only got your crops to eat, that's what they'll eat. So good catch crop. Then we have Linaria. Linaria is like a miniature snapdragon. It's a very pretty, very dainty little plant. And this is called Fairy Bouquet. And I do like Linaria. It's such a pretty little flower. Then we have Nemesia Carnival Mix. Now these are lovely once again. These are sort of a cross between a snapdragon and a petunia. It's about the best way I can describe them. They're quite prolific, as in they will self-seed, and the bees love them. So a nice little flower. And then we have something for the pussycats. We have catnip. So I have already planted some, but I don't think it took. So I'm going to have another go at seeing if I can propagate some catnip and see how my little pussycats like it, because I plan on planting it up in their fernery and seeing if they enjoy it. So let's get out into the garden and do a bit of planting. Oh, g'day everybody. I'm just sorting out some seeds. So, I've been back to Bunnings. You know how I said I needed some sugar snap peas? Well, I got me sugar snaps. So I plan on planting them today. I also picked up some Charter's double mixed hollyhock. Now I do have some hollyhock around the place, mainly pinks, different shades of pink, even up to a really dark, almost black. But in this one it has whites, apricots and yellows, as well as a really vibrant red as well. So I thought they'd be really nice around the garden, some nice tall plants to give the garden a bit of structure and a bit of height. And because they self-seed every year and I won't have to worry about buying the packet ever again, because I'll probably have hundreds of them coming up. But anyway, that's alright, they're a nice plant. Then we have some Gypsphilia Bright Rose, which is a beautiful pink colour. So I do have some Gypsphilia White, which I usually plant out in the garden, mainly in amongst my brassicas, because it helps to trick the white butterfly moth into thinking that there's other butterflies already around it. And as you wouldn't believe it, but butterflies can be very territorial, especially the white butterfly moth. And if it thinks there's heaps of other butterflies around it, and if you give it something else to lay its eggs on, like nasturtium or something like that, remember I was saying it's a good catch crop, they'll go to the nasturtium and they'll leave your brassicas alone. So I also picked up some red pak choi. There we go. Sorry about the quality, but it is what it is. Then we have some some lettuce, some butter crunch lettuce. Now these are really nice, the butter crunch. They're a nice, soft, crisp lettuce. They're not like the hard crispiness of a lettuce, but they're really nice in your salads. You've got a good flavour to them too. So nice butter crunch. Then we have the all year rounder, which is in a seed tape. I haven't had much luck with seed tapes, but I thought I'd give it a go. It's apparently pretty easy to germinate these ones. It says sow late winter to autumn. I know it's not quite winter yet, but it'll do. And then we have lettuce Great Lakes, which is a crisp and crunchy iceberg type. So that's that one there. That's normally what you get in the supermarket. You know, the nice big heads of lettuce. So, and as I said, I'm planting my heading lettuce over with my garlic, and plus I'll put some gypsphilia through there, so hopefully that will keep the butterflies away, and it'll be too cold for them shortly, so they'll go into hibernation or go wherever butterflies go during the really cold weather. And the peas and the garlic should help protect it. Then, you know what I found? My lettuces that I lost. Remember I said when I go and buy some more, I'll probably find the packet of lettuce that all my seeds are in. And guess what I found? Never mind. So what I also have is some bulbs that I forgot that I had, and they're sprouting all through the place. So these are just basically some winter gladiolas, so I'll find somewhere nice for them, put them in a pot somewhere. What I've also got is 2 spinach, the Popeye spinach. So these have been actually sitting in my pond for a couple of weeks. You know, the top layer of the sand part where the pond is. Yeah. So I'll plant them out. And I also have some rainbow mix Swiss chard with all the different colours, the reds, the yellows, the whites, all that. So it's time to plant up some new Swiss chard. The other one that I had was probably about 3 years old, so it came out and went to the chooks. Also, something that I grabbed is these paint stirrers. Now, I thought these would be really good for making plant labels. All I will do is put a bit of that, some yellow tape around it, or even that white webbing tape that I have, that I did the pantry with. I've got some of that left over, and then I'll just use a marker pen and mark my plants. This is not just for your little bits and pieces. This is mainly for my plants that I keep for 3, 4 and 5 years, such as my peppers. I usually keep my peppers for about 4 or 5 years, so this way I can actually put a plant label in, and hopefully I'll be able to distinguish what they are. I also picked up some more plant labels for when I'm putting in my plants, and also some of this frog tape. Now, frog tape, and it's in a container so it won't get wet. It can be left out in the potting station without fear of it getting browned like the other painter's tape that I had. So this here, what I do is that wide part, I just put a piece of frog tape on it, right on whatever it is, and then when it comes to changing the label, I can easily rip off the tape, or if it won't come off, stick on a new piece, and I can use the label over and over and over and over again. And I also picked up a couple of new hanging pots. So I've got a few things to do. That'll give me a few chores. But at the moment, I'm just going to plant out some of the plants that I have. Plus, I've still got a few others in there that need to go into pots very shortly and up on my pot stand, so that all my herbs and that are close to the kitchen door, so I can just run out and grab herbs when I need to. So what we will do is start planting the spinach. What I have here is the sorrel, red leaf sorrel. Now that I won't be pulling out. I have a few weeds in here, not many. So we'll get rid of those. These scraps can just go into the chooks. Okie dokie. There we go. That's done. Now all we need to do is water that in, put a little bit of mulch over the top. But first of all, I'm going to find a packet of peas to be grown up along the back there. Right, and for this one, I will be planting the few leafless pods that I have. So make a drill. And just put them along. Make sure they're all tucked into bed. And go with the next one. And tuck them into bed. go. Now they'll be watered in and mulched when I go round and mulch everything else. So we'll move on to planting the silver beet. Okay, so we have planted the Butter Crunch lettuce and the Great Lakes lettuce. Now we will plant the all year lettuce. This is the seed tape one, and that's what you get. Okay. So we'll just tear that in half. And now I can either plant this straight into the ground or into these little containers, which is what I plan on doing for this one. So that one there, a bit like toilet paper actually. Don't want to wipe your bum with that, you don't know what'll come sprouting out. And sprinkle some dirt over the top. Well, actually this is the Koya medium. So seeds don't need a great lot of fertilizer or anything like that. They've got it all in the seed at the moment. So all you need is a bit of growing medium and some water. And once they start growing, then you can start, well, you can put them into a pot with a little bit of fertilizer in it, such as seed raising mix, or you can start fertilizing if they're in a larger pot. You're better off with a small one to begin with. And there's our label. And this is one of them paint pens or paint marker. I find it's quite good. So, all year. And the date, which is the 4th of the 11th. And there we go. There's our lettuce planted. Don't you fall over. You stay in there, you. Right. Now we want some pak choy. And what pot have we got? There we go. I'll just reuse this one. Poke him down. Bit like brassica seeds these are. So I'm going to be repotted anyway, so I'm just going to stick a few in each little cell here and stick the rest back. And back in the packet. Right, now we'll top up with a bit more potting mix or seed medium, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Now, normally it works better than this. This one's getting down a bit, so time to go and buy a new pen, I think. I only have this in one place and I don't go there very often. Actually, I might stick it in the side there. That's better. Now we have the hollyhocks. Now these are a somewhat larger seed, so I'll be putting them in a larger trays, but I will be repotting on once they come up. And once again, I will most likely multi-sow. There we go. So, let's see. I think I'll go 4 to a cell. Little bit sprinkled over the top. And next. sorry about cutting you off with the last lot of seeds I was planting. Unfortunately my camera just shut itself off. Either the battery was flat or the card was full. Not really sure why, but anyway, it does that occasionally. So I thought I'd bring you into the fernery and we'll plant up this little pond filter with some of the mammoth melting snow peas. And I can see a locust on my tree, so hang on. So we'll start by getting rid of some of these old lettuces. They've done their purpose now. And I may even plant these out in the garden where they can grow on and make more lettuce. My celery needs tying up, so I need to wrap it actually, and by wrapping it, it will grow larger stalks, fatter, juicier, and it'll be milder tasting, but it won't have that real strong celery taste, which is what you're used to getting into the supermarkets anyway. So I just pull it up like that, like you're going to give it a haircut, and just twist it off a bit. Give it a little bit of room to grow. There we go. And when I get a chance, I'll come in with something and wrap it, re-wrap it for it ready to blanch. Now, I've got one of these, so we'll see if it fits. There we go. No problem. Oh, there we go. Mosquitoes are well and truly out. Alright, now we'll throw some seed in there. I think we'll put 2 or 3 per rung there. Just push them in. I'll leave the filter off for a few days. That'll give the sand in there time to drain out a bit so that the seeds don't rot before they germinate. I've got a few more there, so I've got another, yeah, I've got another one over there, so I might plant the rest of these over. Right. Right, that's all them planted out. And there we go, the celery's all wrapped up, ready for self-blanching. And as I said, that'll just make a larger, sweeter celery stalks, ready for this winter's soups. Well, now I'm back under the patio. So what I'm doing is I'm planting up my kitchen herbs in these nice grey pots, and they will be going on a plant stand that I have just over there. I'll show you in a few minutes. And I've picked all grey pots, so it's nice and uniform. And what I have, these pots have got rubber bungs in the bottom, and I thought I would make sort of a wicking pot out of them. Unfortunately, they're just going to have to sit in water until they soak it up, but that's fine. At the moment, when I can get some sand, I will put some sand in the bottom there and put them on the sand, and that way if the roots grow through, they're only going into sand anyway, but that will help lift them up a little bit, as well as wicking up the moisture, and also it will help to reduce mosquitoes. But at the moment we'll just plant up the pots and put them in this container, and others very much like it. So what I thought I would start with, I have some variegated thyme, which is a beautiful little plant. I grabbed the variegated varieties not only for their flavour and their scent, but also because I thought that they would be something a little different and pretty as well. So we'll repot this one up into a bigger pot. So what I have here is just a mixture of potting mix, a little bit of sand, and some worm castings. Not much of it there. I'll have to make up some more as I go. But there's enough for this pot. So we'll stick some mixture in the bottom. A little bit more. Yep. Sorry guys, the planes are very noisy today. Push that down in there. And there we go. First one's done. I'll bring you back when the other two are done. Right, so they're done. So the first one was, let's see, thyme. That's right. The second one I've decided on is oregano, also a variegated plant, so I think that'll be quite nice. And then I've gone for just a straight green plant for the centre, which is good old basil. So we'll pop him in the pot. Let's see. It will sit down in the pot for a little while until I can get that sand. Now, next I have lemon balm. So I've got a nice grey pot here for lemon balm. Yep, that should fit nicely. So as you see, This one's more than ready to be planted out. It was sitting in the pond filter. There we go. In you go, little fella. And the next one is verbena, or lemon verbena. This has a beautiful smell. I was thinking it might make a really nice cup of tea on a cold day. Nearly forgot the label. And there we go with the verbena. Now, what else have I got? I've got the rest of this to put out. I was actually thinking of using these. Now this is one of the melons I just took from my garden the other day. It's actually a champagne watermelon. It has a beautiful yellow flesh. So I thought I'll grow it in one of these, and then all I have to do when I'm ready for it is just plant it straight in the ground, and it's got plenty of moisture there from the rind. It won't leak all over the place, and when it's ready I can just plant it. So we'll pop that in there. Pop that in there. A little bit more worm castings because They're a nice hungry little plant. I want to make sure it gets all the food it needs. And we'll just top up with some more potting mixture. There we go, and that one's done. It'll only need watering in a little bit later on. Now I've got another one here, so I'm going to do the same thing. Nearly forgot it. This is well-aged worm poo, so it won't hurt the plants at all.